Okay, it's Tuesday, May 10th at 7 o'clock, and I'd like to call the City of Twinsburg Caucus meeting to order. Shannon, would you call the roll?
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes, here.
Mr. Fury? Mr. Bard?
Here.
Mr. Post?
Here.
Mrs. Laddie? Mrs. Walker?
Present.
Mr. Bellin?
Here. Okay, there are no presentations tonight. No items for discussion. Audience participation.
First, we have Lynn Clark.
Good evening. My name's Lynn Clark, 2485 Old Mill Road, and I'm going to talk about my favorite topic, which is the development along Old Mill Road. Not that that should be any surprise to anybody here. So just a couple of little loose ends. I'm not sure everybody was aware of this. I just wanted to make sure everybody was kind of knowing where things were. And so first thing was, hey, we put in a request to have some kind of meeting where we could have a meaningful discussion on several of the issues associated with these developments and to various parties, and have heard nothing back yet. Additionally, we've requested for all the city engineers' review notes on the development known as Gumbo or Summit Commerce 2. And have not seen those yet. In particular, we're interested in anything dealing with the hydrogeology and the surface hydrology. Also, we've asked for what everybody here on the council, the city representatives feel the applicable ordinances and/or charter references are. Haven't heard anything on that. And also, we've submitted a request for the Environmental Commission to investigate some issues we feel are associated with the development of that land. And we haven't heard anything back on that yet. Now, I was wondering if it would be possible to get an update on all of these open items.
I'm not sure where the request went. Where did the request go?
So,
I can speak on behalf of the Environmental Commission. We inquired about that, and we, as the Environmental Commission, I know you're unanimous 1103. After talking with the law director, we've talked about it multiple times. You know, when you look at Chapter 151, and
so
it
that's
goes.
in the charter, right?
No,
151?
that is not the charter. Is that correct?
No, that's correct. That's the administrative code,
That's
where it sets
administrative.
forth the duties and the powers of the Environmental Commission.
So, continue, David.
Thank you. So, from conversation that I understand, it is not, the Environmental Commission is an advisory board. It's not their job to go out and do that and advise the Planning Commission. The Environmental Commission's job is not to advise the Planning Commission on the environment of the
And-
property there at Old Mill.
Why does it say that? You know, that, I didn't make that up, right? That
Right.
came from what's posted up on the city's My Twinsburg site. The 1104, or whatever that reference is right now.
Right, well, again, Matt, if you want to address the difference.
Yeah, I think what Mr. Post is saying is that the Environmental Commission is an advisory body. So I'd be happy to look into your requests and investigate some of these document requests that I think you've made. But at the end of the day, the Environmental Commission is different than the Planning Commission, for example. Whereas the Planning Commission is, a body that has the responsibility to issue and deny permits. The Environmental Commission is an advisory body that, at the request of the council, or request of the Planning Commission, can provide input and advice. At that, we can discuss this further if you'd like to, outside of the council.
When may we have that discussion?
I can reach out to you. I have your email.
I bet you do. Okay, thank you.
You emailed me. That's why I have it.
All right.
So,
Relative to the other items, any response? Hey, we've requested meaningful meetings, not just the limited repartee that we have here for a few moments in front of the council, planning commission, et cetera, about the various aspects of these developments.
That email is sent to who? Where we
I
go?
tried to plaster, so everybody on the council, the planning commission, et cetera. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just, I just want to say that Karen Labby, she's your council rep.
Yes.
She's on vacation this week, and she will discuss this at the next council meeting,
Okay,
the information that she got from you. I think you did send her some information, and she's working on it, but she's on vacation right now.
okay.
Yeah.
Relative to the engineer's request, I know that I CC'd Shannon on that, in addition to.
Yeah, well, I know there's been significant document requests that's been provided for an extended period of time through this whole process. I mean, I've seen people picking up plans and full print plans, and I know there's been, back and forth communications. I know there's been emails written, and I know there's been significant answers and responses provided to a number of residents. So this is not just an initial request that you've made
Oh,
that
no.
has not, I mean, this is an ongoing process that's been, I mean, as far as I understand, the city has been engaged with for a period of time now.
Oh, and that's absolutely correct. And in my particular interest is that at the last planning commission, the statement was made that the city engineer has approved that set of plans, that it is in conformance.
Okay,
Now, that's what I heard.
okay.
And so what I wanted to see in particular was their review notes.
When did you send the request?
So that was probably just a couple of days after the last planning commission. So it's, Shannon, do you happen to have that?
The request came in on last Friday.
Okay,
So, last Friday, so 2 business days ago.
but it seems,
Okay, so it's not unreasonable that you have not received
okay,
the
I'm
notes that
just,
you've asked for in 2 business days
Right.
to a very busy engineering department that has multiple projects going on throughout this whole
what,
entire
they've
city.
got more than just what's happening at Old Mill? That is incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
But the only reason I wanted to highlight that in particular is because we've got another planning commission meeting coming up next week, if I recall my calendar correctly.
Highlight, what do you want to highlight?
So in particular, I want to see their review notes relative to the hydrogeology of the site.
Okay. I don't know the timing. I mean, typically, there's a period of time that's reasonable that we can
And I
provide those notes.
understand
We're not trying to avoid you, to not get you documents prior to that meeting.
And I didn't want to
Yeah.
imply that. It was just one of those open items. I figured, had a few moments of everybody's time tonight, just share that. So,
We'll check into it.
thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Bruce Baldwin.
Good evening, Council.
Good evening.
Good evening. You know who I am, I guess. First of all, Mayor, good luck on your new job in Florida.
Thank you.
I know you'll miss me, but it's the way it is. Second, thanks for that cleanup at Creekside. It looks a lot better. I mean, I can tell, by driving. That was,
You're welcome.
I mean, today when I went by again, stopped at Subway, and they
Yeah.
seem to be, maybe they're doing a better job. Somebody maybe talked to them, maybe didn't realize it was so bad. I don't know.
We cited the owner of the strip, so
All right.
hopefully things are getting cleaned up. Yeah.
Okay, third, I have talked about the blue top since the last year. Why is a lawn mowing ordinance and not being enforced? I'm sure it has the 8th time I brought this up. Who is responsible for this?
Yeah, so I actually went by there, I did bring it up to, we have contracted out with a landscaper that handles those issues throughout the city, so I suspect it's gonna get taken care of.
Means you're gonna be, because last year I brought this up, that lawn was over, even Mr. Fury says over 8 inches high himself.
Well, I think it's been cut since last year.
No, I haven't, if it has, I go by there usually twice a day.
Okay.
I do not believe it. If somebody's got to be a bill somewhere. If I'm wrong, I'll apologize. Somebody had to pay.
I was gone for eight days and my grass was about, 8 or 10 inches high, so I'll take a look
It
again.
does look bad.
Yeah.
There was a truck parked there. I thought they might be going to tear the place down, a construction vehicle,
We're-
but I guess not.
We're working on that.
Pardon?
We're working on that.
Okay. That Haddon Road job we talked about is getting worse and worse. I told you I stopped to help that guy that got in an accident there. The second person I could not stop for, but it's got worse. There's a big hole, right? And the thing about it is, I noticed the guy the other day, he slowed down, the guy almost rear-ended him. He's not, evidently, maybe the guy wasn't used to going that way. I don't know who it was. Don't know either one of them who they were. Okay, damage to an SUV. We talked about these signs before. You were gonna do something about it? There's signs up from last week, Tuesday. Still up in town. There's 2 or 3 of them up at the park. It makes it really look kind of bad to have these signs up.
You talking like temporary signs?
Well, it was for the election last Tuesday.
Okay.
Signs are still there.
Right. Yeah, our building department, if they're out and they see them and they're not.
Well,
already
they've been
pulled.
there, sir. They've been there since last Tuesday. I mean, I don't go around looking for it, but I do travel. I live up there. Well, you know where I live. Remember the problem we have with signs?
I know-
Yeah, I remember that.
I know
Yeah.
exactly where you live.
Yeah, okay, all right. Okay, the building at corner of Depot and Route 14, did you look at any of that debris behind the building? Looks like a fire hazard to me back there. We brought this up last year, because I haven't been gone for a while, so, and that happened, I brought that up. Another thing happened to me again, yeah, I know what you're thinking. Truck left the limestone pit up there, and the stuff was blowing out of the back of that truck. I slowed up. The guy in back of me, he was evidently seen what I was doing. He slows up. I believe there's a state law against tarps, and I believe the insurance company was pushing it. And a lot of cities have their own tarp, but being a policeman, you can write on either one, depending on what this problem is. But this is kind of dangerous. They have tarp. The guy had a tarp. He just didn't roll it. So that's his problem. That was easy as the operator of the vehicle. That's his fault. I guess I do that. Okay, back and slow down. Okay, I guess, 7th, residence. Oh, I seen 2 houses. One had 6 vehicles in the driveway and one had 8 vehicles in the driveway. I've seen this a couple of times. I don't know if it was just a thing that happened when I happened to go by. I don't go by all the time at those streets, depending on where I'm going. But there was one of them parked on the lawn with a commercial tag. Not too far from here, actually, so.
1 minute.
Maybe it was a party.
And I just wonder why, I just haven't noticed on the way in, there's no sign there that says council meeting tonight. Remember we talked about that before? They're gonna do something about the sign out front?
We're getting a new sign.
Why not? You told me that last year. I'm getting new hair too. You probably, yeah. So, okay, thank you again. Have a good evening. Thank you very much. Thanks. Be safe down there.
Thank you.
'Cause I was warned, when I was living down there, you know what they warned me about? Alligators. Because I was only 19 years old when I went down there. And I thought you could pet them, but I guess you can't.
That's all we have this evening.
That's it? Okay, thank you. We'll move on to pending legislation. We've got ordinance 39, 2022. This ordinance is to approve the list of auction items. As you remember, there were some additional items that were put on last time, and they were highlighted. The list has been updated to provide, and they provided it all to council. This will be on its final reading tonight. Council, any discussion? Ordinance 52, 2022. This ordinance is to amend the appropriations for the fire grant in the amount of $8,350. Any discussion there? Resolution 53, 54, and 55. These resolutions are MOUs to add the Juneteenth holiday to all 3 OPBA contracts. Questions? Ordinance 56, 2022, this ordinance is to amend the policy for contracts for capital improvements, as we discussed 2 weeks ago. When a project exceeds $25,000 but less than $50,000, the mayor must obtain 3 quotes. This policy need not be adhered to in the event that it is for personnel or professional services. The expenditure is made pursuant to the cooperative purchasing program or is not possible to obtain 3 quotes. If the mayor enters into a contract pursuant to this policy, the mayor shall notify council of these actions. Any questions on that?
No.
Okay. That's the end of our legislation. Anybody have any miscellaneous, council?
No.
Nothing miscellaneous? Okay, at this time, I want to make a motion that we recess and go into executive session to discuss personnel.
I'll second.
Okay, Shannon called, any discussion? Shannon called the roll.
Mr. Scafidi?
Yes.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Bellin?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Post?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to go in executive session. We'll be back by 7:30.